Starting off the hour, Dr. Frank Welch is the Immunization Medical Director for the Louisiana Department of Health and Human Services. Dr. Welch, how are you today?
Good morning.
You're not sneezing, you're not coughing, you don't have a fever. That means, I guess, according to the email that Erin sent, that you had sent to her, that you are one of the nearly minority folks in Louisiana who are unaffected by the flu. It's pretty bad right now, right?
That is exactly right. Just looking at the numbers within Louisiana and across the rest of the nation, there is lots and lots of flu out there. And to be honest with you, in the 20 years I've done this, I've never seen it this high in Louisiana. So it's really terrible.
What's the cause? Why this year all of a sudden?
So you know what? The flu changes itself every single year, and there's multiple strains going around. And some years we're lucky with light flu seasons, and other years it's really, really bad. We really don't know, especially don't know why Louisiana started out in early December. We really don't get high flu levels typically until mid to late February. We started out of the blocks, we've led the country, and we're still leading the country. What I mean by that is almost 1 in 10 visits to a doctor, hospital, or clinic in Louisiana is for flu-like illness. So it's really bad. I don't know why.
I'm looking at your charts online. We'll put them up at KEELnews.com. And it shows, like, for type A, type B flu, are there two separate strains that we're really concerned about? It looks like the type A is really the one that's troublesome.
That is exactly right. So there's two kinds of flu, A and B. The A kind is more serious. It makes people sicker, it keeps people sicker longer, and it tends to aggravate those other problems like asthma or heart disease. So we do have a B strain and actually two A strains going around in Louisiana. So it's not just one culprit, it's three.
But, Doc, I got the shot.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I got a double dose because I'm really, really, really old. Are you telling me and everybody who got the shot that the shot didn't help? Or is this just...
No.
Go ahead, finish my thought.
I think that's a great question, though. Oftentimes, the flu shot is about 60 to 80% effective. And what that means is for a lot of people who got the shot, they won't get the flu. But for some people who still get the flu, it'll be less. Now, unfortunately, what they're suggesting now is that one of those components, one of the A's that we talked about is more serious. The effectiveness is probably only about 25 to 30%. But what I keep telling people is, just because you get one strain of the flu doesn't protect you against one of the others. And the flu shot probably will make it. So even if you do get the flu, it'll be less severe than if you hadn't gotten the shot.
I'm looking at another chart. You're disturbing me, Doc, this morning. This is the geographic distribution. We're in Region 7. We're red. We're very high. And several areas in the state are, but particularly Shreveport-Bossier, a lot of cases.
I got to tell you, I have never seen it this high in early January. And I got to tell you, I've rarely seen it red in Louisiana. Typically, we get to the dark green, but it is really, really serious. Again, 1 in 10 people. So I really want to encourage people, if you haven't gotten the flu shot, go get it. And
it's
again,
not too late.
Even if you've had the flu, it's not too late. Even if you've had the flu, it also protects you against other strains of the flu that are going around that you haven't had. Believe it or not, you can get one kind of flu in December and a different kind of flu in February.
Oh.
There's no saying you can't.
So I had read a
but
couple...
Then really...
I'm sorry, finish up. I apologize.
Yeah, what I want to tell people is if you do get sick or you think you have the flu, the best thing you can do is leave school or work or wherever you're at and go home. The next thing I want you to do is call your doctor. There are antiviral medicines that can help minimize the effects of the flu and minimize the spread of the flu. So go home, stay alone, call your doctor, get an antiviral medicine. And a good rule of thumb is make sure you haven't had a fever for 24 hours, and then you're not contagious anymore. And that usually takes 3 to 6 days for most people. Then if you're not sick, make sure you wash your hands, cover your cough, and stay away from sick people.
See, that was going to be sort of a two-part question. One, when is someone no longer contagious? And you answered that, when their fever breaks. But sort of part B of that, what can I do? What can Erin do? What can anybody listening do to avoid getting the flu? Or is it just airborne and there's just nothing, no precaution you can take?
No. So the flu typically caught from someone nearby. So that recommendation I have for sick people to stay home is really going to help if people heed that. If they don't go to school, if they don't go to work, if they don't go to church, staying home is the best way not to spread the flu to other people. The second thing is the most common way to get the flu is when you touch your hand to your face, meaning your mouth, your nose, or your eyes. So just make sure if you are healthy and want to stay healthy, you stay away from sick people and wash your hands a lot. Then when you're at work, just make sure that that you wash frequently used surfaces like doorknobs and telephones frequently. That can help as well.
Dr. Frank Welch, I spoke with someone Saturday on the phone who had the flu.
No, you can't get it over the phone.
I know that.
Phew, okay.
But I did wash my hands after talking to him, but he sounded really sick. I mean, this is not somebody that gets sick very often. It sounds like it's pretty debilitating. And all he told me was, he goes, "Can you please call me back Tuesday or Wednesday?" It's bad, huh?
That particular A strain that you're talking about, one of the A strains that we have going around is the old H1N1. You guys remember from 2009, the swine flu?
Oh, yeah.
That's still floating around. But this H3N2, which is the other A strain, really tends to hit people hard. And the way you can tell the difference between the flu and just a cold, which is also going around all over the place, is you're kind of okay today, and then within hours you have severe pains in your legs, in your back, muscle aches, you have a headache, your eyes are hurting, and you feel like, oh, I just have to lay down. That's the flu. That's the one you want to go home and stay away from other people. And then again, just like you mentioned, this one isn't a 24-hour bug. This tends to keep people sick for 3 to 5 to 6 days. And so, just like you mentioned with your friend, it is serious and it's really debilitating. Make sure you stay at home and wait 24 hours after your fever broke, and that's a good indication you're not contagious anymore.
So if you've never seen the flu this bad this early, does this mean you anticipate in February, maybe into March, it being even worse, that we haven't even seen the peak, the apogee yet?
I'm telling you what I'm going to hope. How about this? The flu spreads from person to person. And typically, once someone has had a particular type of the flu, they can't get it again. They're immune. So I'm hoping, although we started out of the blocks hot and fast, I'm hoping enough people are immune, enough people get the shot, and enough people heed that warning to stay home when they're sick, that I'm hoping we drop off early. That's my hope. Now, it is possible that we stay this bad and we stay this bad for a month or so. But again, it spreads from person to person. If we follow those kindergarten rules, I'm really hopeful it's going to drop off and we're going to decline soon.
I'm just going to go get the flu shot weekly, Doc.
Fortunately, you only need one. Believe it or not, the flu shot in a healthy person stays good 6 to 9 months. So You just have to get it once. But again, you still can get the flu, so I still want you to follow those simple rules.